Taz, the podcast, is committed to those that entertain, make us laugh, and make us feel all for a better life. It's our season premiere. So excited. Taz, the podcast, is made possible by small business sponsorships provided by Colin Feed and Seed, Brookhaven, Mississippi. The farm depends on us. The Dockside Depot in Yankeetown, Florida. Craft beers and more on the Withlacoochee River. National consideration provided by Twisty9, that little fashion accessory that is perfect for every shirt and skirt in your closet. Promotional consideration provided by Comedy Couple Tees.
Have you
Heard what?
Comedy Couple Tees will print anything on a shirt.
Anything?
Anything.
What if I can't think of something funny to put on a shirt?
That's okay. They have lots of funny shirts on their website to choose from, or you can create your own custom shirt. You can also get a custom mask, phone case, mouse pad, and so much more.
I bet it's expensive though, right?
No way. You can get a full color picture printed on a white shirt for only $20.
$20?
Yup, they have great prices.
Where can I find them?
ComedyCoupleTees.com. That's ComedyCoupleTees.com.
Comedy Couple Tees. We print anything on a shirt.
You know, Alyssa, several years ago, you probably don't remember it because I'm much older than you are. There used to be a commercial on TV, and it was New York City questioning New York City and the making of salsa. You are now my second country artist from New York City. What is going on? Alyssa,
well, I'm actually from upstate New York, not New York City.
Yeah, no.
So I'm from like the country of New York.
So it's still country. Alyssa Trahan, welcome to Taz the podcast. Are you from? You're from the were you there your whole life in East? You said East Rochester is where you're from. Were you there your whole life?
I was, yeah, a tiny little town in upstate New York. That's where I lived my whole life until I made the big move to Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, and I want to get more into it in a little bit, but did you bring any, did you were on a farm there? Were you really country, or were you in the city?
So I grew up in like a normal house, I guess you could say, but my grandparents are dairy farmers.
Oh, wow.
So I do have the farm background there. That's where we'd go for, all the holidays and sometimes in the summer. And it was always one of my favorite places with all the animals. And they had like 100 farm cats that were just like my favorite thing. I tried to bring one home every single holiday. Got really close one time, but then my dad said no.
Well, do you have any, you got any pets there with you in Nashville right now?
I do. Speaking of cats, I have 2 cats.
Nice.
Beasley and Chip, and they are very different personalities, but they have definitely made this quarantine more interesting, right. I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, I had a pig, a cat, and a dog that came out of quarantine.
Aww.
Yeah. But,
oh, wow.
Well, the pig didn't make the cut. He stayed back in. He didn't. He's not bacon or anything. He stayed back in Mississippi. Yeah, he stayed back in Mississippi, and the dog and cat and I are well on our way. Alyssa, I do try to not do a lot of discovery before the interviews because I like the wow factor, but I did have to dig into you a little bit because I discovered you on social media, and it wasn't like I was at a music festival or something where I normally learn about new artists because we don't have the opportunity right now. So I was reading. You're not just some girl with a microphone. Or some girl with you've got some skill. You got some mad skill. Like you've produced.
Well, thanks.
No, I mean, you've really done the nuts and bolts of. You're not, to me, like. I think a lot of the people that I'm talking to is very talented, and I'm not taking away from it. But when you write it, I mean, if you can make the biscuits, and you can make the flour too, that's good. And you can make the flower too. You've also produced, and I mean, where did you want to be? Is this where you wanted to be? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved to be as involved as I can be when it comes to my music. Yeah. I'm somebody that, I guess you could say I'm a perfectionist, and I'm the kind of person that a lot of people think is annoying, but I like to do things myself. Because especially when it comes to my music, like I want it a very certain way. Like I'm not hard to work with, but like I know what I want it to be. So, I mean, when I was younger and I first started recording my original music in recording studios, it was fun, and it was really cool to have somebody else basically do it for me, the production side. But even when I was like 15, I was like, no, I want to do it this way. Man, that looks like something I could do on my own. I really want to learn how to do that. And long story short, I had some not good experiences in a recording studio that led me to be like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Little 16-year-old naive me. So I locked myself in my bedroom, taught myself how to use Pro Tools, the recording program. And that just kind of snowballed into becoming, first of all, obsessed with production, which then led to me learning more instruments because, say, I wanted mandolin on a song. There's not many mandolin players in upstate New York. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go get a cheap one and do it myself. So that's kind of how I learned a lot of instruments. And I mean, for me, when it comes to my music, it's just like everything that I am. Right. So I want to put all of me into it. And it's so fun and rewarding for me to be literally a part of every step of the process.
Well, and I guess I was horrible at my delivery on it, but that's kind of what I was saying. Like, you're not a diva, like but you don't have even that air about you. But
I mean, I can be sassy. Don't get me wrong.
No, listen, and we all have enemies too, but everybody loves me. You know what I mean? But no, I'm saying, like, when at first impressions, I see you as someone who is maybe standing over in the corner and perfecting your song through someone else. But then as I'm reading your bio, I'm like, dang, girl's got kahunas. Like, you're doing it. You're part of the process all the way through, and you're not just standing around waiting on someone. You're putting the work in. I said all of that to say you're putting the work in, and that's where I was going with it. I'm a
workaholic. That's
you're working
for sure.
your ass off too.
Yeah. That's why I don't have one. I worked it all off.
That's funny. Well, you will hit the age one day, young lady, that you will have one no matter how much you worked.
Counting down the days.
Yeah. I love it. What is one of your biggest inspirations in music? Where did it come from for you? And I guess I'm so excited to talk to you that I'm afraid we're going to go 2 hours if I don't reel it in somehow. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much I want to know about you. But and that's why I'm trying to say so much at one time. But where did it all begin for you, and how did it all come about? Like, what inspired you musically?
Yeah. So I feel like music chooses people. You don't really choose music. You're born with that passion and that love. And I definitely was born with that as a kid. I mean, even as a baby, there's videos of me like dancing to music and crawling all over a piano and stuff. So it's definitely in my blood. And I think I get that part of it from, first of all, my grandmother, who actually just passed away. But she was a musician, and that was a big thing for me growing up. And also, a lot of my family is very musical. I have family members that perform in church, which I know is where a lot of, especially country artists, got their start. My dad was a huge influence on me. He was in a band before I was born. He kind of, settled down once I was in the picture. But he would play guitar around the house all the time, and I just thought that was so cool. I wanted to learn. And just being surrounded by music all the time. I was a dancer as a kid. I was in, wind ensemble, band, chorus in school, and all the musicals, things like that. And just everything related to music I was so drawn to. So it was kind of just always in me, and I just gravitated towards the music. And then once I got older and I kind of first off, I realized I was writing songs my whole life. Like I would make up little melodies in my head as a little kid, and I thought everybody did that. Like
Right.
it was just a thing everyone did.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is a weird thing to do. So then, I realized, oh, I'm writing songs, and I tried to learn more about songwriting, and every artist and writer I saw was like, yeah, so I write on guitar. So then I was like, oh, I need to learn how to play guitar. So my dad taught me how to play guitar, and it really snowballed from there into where we are now. But as I was growing up and now, I would say my biggest influences, it's kind of music in general, but specifically artists, I'd say Taylor Swift, Carrie Underwood, Dolly Parton, Dixie Chicks, Miranda Lambert, so many people, honestly. Just listening to country radio in general, and especially the female voices always stuck out to me, like Trisha Yearwood and Shania Twain and all those people just really just stood out to me. And as soon as I heard their voices and their sound, I was like, oh
yeah,
this is what I am. Like, this is me. I had always felt like I didn't really know what genre was, and I didn't know where my music fit. And then I heard them, and I was like, oh, like it was just such an epiphany for me once I heard them.
Well, do you think, who does your style, your writing, who's your writing style more like? And I know, you know what I'm saying. Like, everybody has their own individual style, but who would you compare your style to?
Oh, wow. I feel like my style of writing is very Nashville. I feel like the town in general has its own kind of vibe when it comes to songwriting. So I feel like I can't really pinpoint it on one artist. It's just country and Nashville in general. I feel like my writing has always been in that realm, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. And because, and what the artist that you just named, that's Nashville,
Yeah.
So I get exactly what you're saying. Well, okay. What is your instruments that you play? What's your favorite? Maybe you don't play it on an album or whatever, but what's your favorite instrument that you've learned? What is that you play?
Oh boy.
Like the accordion, something weird. Like, what did you learn? Like, is the ukulele or?
Okay, so my favorite, weird instrument, I guess, would probably be the Irish flute.
Nice.
I feel like that's kind of a random thing a lot of people don't play. I was in an Irish music group growing up, and I played Irish flute as well as penny whistle.
Oh.
And I got to learn, traditional Irish music. So that's a really fun instrument to play for sure.
That is awesome. Well, we're going to listen to some of this awesome music of yours.
Yay!
When we come back, we're going to take just a little short break. We'll be right back.
Hey, y'all. I'm Jennifer Jones, creator of Twisty Knot, the little fashion accessory that makes the perfect knot in your t-shirts. Check out my podcast episode with Taz from the first season of Bougie and Val to hear my story, how I invented and patented my product. And be sure to visit twistyknot.com to see all the things that Twisty Knot can do. That's twist-knot.com.
So, I gotta know. I'm changing it up just a little bit, Alyssa. I gotta know about my favorite song.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I want to know, where'd that come from? Where did that come? I'm like, you screwed up my. You know how many people out there that I want to send this to? Like, you screwed up my favorite song.
So that idea came from something that has happened to me several times now, which is I can't listen to a song or even watch a TV show or a movie or read a book because of something that happened with a person that maybe they loved that song or something bad happened during the time that song was playing. Just the way that your emotions and whatever you associate that song with, the song can be completely ruined depending on what happened. So for me, I got that idea after I had a fight with somebody, and it was around the time that a certain song on the radio was playing like 24/7, like, you turn it on and every single time the radio's on, this song is on.
Right.
So it was like the song of the month.
No, I get it 1,000%. Yes.
Yeah. So I had a really big fight with this person, and just like the song and just the timing of the fight, it just like my brain connected those two things and just made them one, I guess. So now every time I hear that song, even though this person and I aren't fighting anymore, I think of that. So
you think of the fight.
Can't.
You think of the
and I get those emotions coming back, and I'm like, I have to change the station, which like is sad because it was a great song. It's a great artist, and I kind of feel bad. Like, it's not the songwriter or the artist's fault that I can't listen to their song anymore. But yeah, so that's where the idea for my favorite song came from. Just literally having a song ruined.
Well, from now on, like the next time I have the next time I have people in my life that a song needs to relate to, I'm just going to go ahead and make my favorite song my favorite song. So then
there you go.
Yeah. So we just go ahead and get it out of the way to begin with, because you're absolutely correct. Every time you turn on the radio, I'm trying to think. The only song that hasn't been messed up for me is Thunder by Imagine Dragons, because that's my song.
Yeah.
And I can relate that to other people in my life, but that's my song. It's not my favorite song. You understand? It's a difference.
Yeah, totally.
You want to take a listen to my favorite song right now?
Let's do it.
Because it is now my favorite song.
Every single part. No, it never got old, and it would get me every time. I played it for you. You said you liked it too. Then it was ours, and I swore it was written for you and I. Then you had the nerve to end things while it was playing on the radio one night. Oh, you ruined my favorite song. Now every time that it comes on, all I can think about is how everything we had is gone. I used to want to sing along, but now the melody sounds all wrong. Yeah, you broke my heart, but the worst part of all, you ruined my favorite song. It happened so fast, and you barely looked back as I watched you walk out the door about the second verse. And it just kept on playing like it was laughing at me sitting there alone. Oh, you ruined my favorite song. Now every time that it comes on, all I can think about is how everything we had is gone. I used to want to sing along, but now the melody sounds all wrong. Yeah, you broke my heart, but the worst part of all, you ruined my favorite song. You ruined my favorite song. My favorite song. Ooh, you ruined my favorite song. Now every time that it comes on, all I can think about is how everything we had is gone. I used to want to sing along, but now the melody sounds all wrong. Yeah, you broke my heart, but the worst part of all, yeah, you broke my heart, but the worst part of all, you ruined my favorite song. Oh, you ruined my favorite song.
Gotta ask, did you just call them and say, hey, I wrote a song for you?
I don't usually tell people that I wrote a song about them. I feel like usually it's kind of obvious when it's about them, like for them when they hear it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's one thing I don't tell people, like, oh, I wrote this song about so-and-so. Like, that's a secret I have. So a lot of times my fans will be like, tell us who this song is about. And I'll be like, no.
No, you're not going to. No. That's hilarious. Well,
I can't reveal the secret.
I will tell you that I have sent this song to a couple people. I did. I was like, look, somebody found out about it. Yeah, I wrote a song about it. What do you think? Do you think that when you wrote that song, did it release something for you? Did you feel better?
Oh, yeah. For me, songwriting has always been therapy. There's just something about writing a song that just gets all the emotions out for me. Like, I know a lot of people that write letters to people when they're upset with someone, and that helps. And for me, like, that's what I do with my songs. It's basically like writing a letter to this person that hurt me or whatever's happening in my life. You know what I mean? So it's definitely therapy for sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe I need to learn to write songs.
It helps. It helps a lot. It's kept me sane throughout this whole last year.
That's hilarious. Because getting on a radio station and venting is not really the same. Just kidding. In a podcast. No,
I mean, just put it to a beat and there you go.
Oh, I would be like a rapper.
Yeah. I would listen to that.
No, you wouldn't. No, I've smoked.
I would. Freestyle. Love
it. Okay, so when you were putting Memories Not Dreams together, this song, I don't even want to assume anything. What is Memories Not Dreams?
So this is a song that I wrote with my good friends, Kent Maxon and Adam James Diebel, and we wrote it while we were on a writer's retreat, which is basically just where songwriters go on vacation and write songs together. But we were at a friend's house, and, well, it's her parents' house, and it's just this gorgeous, huge, like, log cabin mansion type thing in the mountains.
Yeah.
So we're writing this song, and we're just looking out at this incredible view, and we just kind of got to talking, and we were kind of in our feels, and we were like, man, how crazy is it how fast life goes by? Like, we had just been talking, wow, we've already been like writing for 3 years. Oh my gosh, we've already been in Nashville for several years. Like, where's the time going? And we just got to talking, like, we don't want to be so caught up in our careers and life that we forget to live. And it was just kind of a perfect moment because we were surrounded by this incredible view in like the middle of nowhere with no cell service.
Yeah.
And we really got in our feels and wrote this song, and we all kind of use it as like kind of like a motto going forward. You know what I mean? So all the time when the three of us get together, we talk about the song and
I can relate to that because I sometimes. You don't know me. You just met me because of this. So, and everybody else's advantage is because they know who I am. But I've had a lot of ideas. But what happened in the past was I was living in that project so much that I wasn't creating memories. And what's happening with the podcast and me being back out on the road and with the radio station and with the Crooked Revival stage is I am creating memories, and I'm also living the dream, and and I resonated with this song too, and I think these fine people will as well.
I hope so.
It's been written on pages and stone, but it's just words until it hits home. Life is shorter than you think, and the truth is another day is never guaranteed. You're born and suddenly you're 16. The next morning you wake up at 53. Those one day some many plans you had, they never came to life. You say you never had the chance. Everybody's time is gonna come. That's the one thing we can all count on. I don't know when it will be, but when it's my time to leave, I wanna die with memories, not dreams. I don't know how much time I have left, but I do know that I don't wanna have any regrets. Working bills and income taxes, life fills up with these distractions. Before you know it, you're looking back, wondering what happened. Everybody's time is gonna come. That's the one thing we can all count on. I don't know when it will be, but when it's my time to leave, I wanna die with memories, not dreams. I'm gonna take that trip and call that friend, tell the ones I love them again. Do all the things I always said, and maybe a few I didn't yet. Everybody's time is gonna come. That's the one thing we can all count on. I don't know when it will be, but when it's my time to leave, I wanna die with memories. I wanna die with memories, not dreams.
Wow. Just wow. And you know what? If it wasn't, I just got a little teary-eyed just then, because what I wanted to say, if it wasn't for my dreams, we wouldn't have these memories. And I'm very glad to have this memory with you. Like you're
Oh,
just,
thank you.
yeah, you're just an incredible artist. And yes, I say it about everybody, you know, but you just named off a few incredible artists that you know. So it's not me. I'm not stroking you. I mean it sincerely. You're an incredible artist.
Well,
and,
thank you so much.
yeah, and now after spending a little time with you, you're pretty good people too. Pretty good people.
I try to be decent.
Go. So Alyssa, with the song "Ain't Ever Going Back," I know that you had to mentally and emotionally be in a mindset to drop the G and add an apostrophe. Oh, Lord.
Yes.
We're about to rap right here, right now. Ain't ever going back. You really, you had to be, you had to be in a mindset to drop that G. Where did this come from?
Yeah, so I was definitely in a sassy mood. And I wrote this song with my good friend Tony Luca, who I also wrote my favorite song with, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he came over for a writing session, and I was dealing with like the typical hater stuff that people deal with. Some people in my hometown saying, oh, just wait, she's going to move back home in 5 years. Haters online saying like, oh, you're never going to go anywhere. Like, why are you trying? You know, just typical things like that.
Jealousy bubblegum is what that is.
I mean, yes. But I'm someone that I don't get sad when I read things like that. I just get annoyed.
Yeah.
And I just, it kind of motivates me even more to be like, just wait, just you watch, you know? So
right.
I was definitely in that mood. And I have this poster in my studio that says, don't look back, you're not going that way.
Right.
And it's always been one of my favorite posters. I just love the message in it. And I always thought it'd be so cool to put it in a song. So when Tony came over and we were throwing around song ideas, I was like, hey, what do you think of this idea? Like, it's from that poster on the wall. What do you think? I want it to have this kind of vibe and be really edgy and have attitude in it. And he was like, yeah, I love it. And he started playing that dobro lick that you hear.
Yeah.
And it just kind of flowed out. It was a really natural thing to write. And we wanted to write it in a way so that, like, for me personally, it's about being in the music industry and also being a woman in the music industry and society. Right. There's kind of double meaning there for me. But we wrote it in a way that it can relate to pretty much anyone and anything, which has been really cool to have people reach out to me and tell me, like, oh, I use it for, to amp myself up before a workout or before work or dealing with this bad situation. So it's been really cool. But that song was definitely just getting out some anger. Again, it was pretty therapeutic for me just to kind of bring up the sass and the hair flips and the attitude and just kind of go for it and just kind of, talk to those haters and be like, just you wait. So thank you to the haters.
It's my new friend.
I appreciate it.
This is her song to you. Ain't ever going back. I probably could send this to some people too, just to let you know.
Love it.
It's been a long time coming on a hard and windy road. Ain't carrying nothing but the heaviest load. Now there's no returning to the way it was before. Engine still burning, pedal to the floor. We didn't come this far just to come this far. Didn't keep it all together just to let it fall apart. Didn't get here just to turn around. Didn't climb this mountain just to let them take us down. Didn't save nothing for the ride back, 'cause we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't ever going back. We knew it wouldn't be easy. Found out it isn't fair. Well, they must be dreaming if they're thinking we're scared. All things being equal, whether it's right or wrong, we'll be moving that needle. So bring it on. We didn't come this far just to come this far. Didn't keep it all together just to let it fall apart. Didn't get here just to turn around. Didn't climb this mountain just to let them take us down. Didn't save nothing for the ride back, 'cause we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't ever going back. We didn't come this far just to come this far. Didn't keep it all together just to let it fall apart. Didn't get here just to turn around. Didn't climb this mountain just to let them take us down. Didn't save nothing for the ride back, 'cause we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't ever going back.
I mean, this song has to be crazy successful for you. Crazy.
It's been a big one. This song actually went viral on TikTok over the summer, which was a crazy thing. It was very random. I still don't know why it blew up how it did, but I posted one video as kind of like a little joke, just introducing myself, and I was like, oh, this is my song playing in the background, go check it out. And then next thing I knew, it had over 700,000 views on TikTok, and I kept posting about it, and now the song has over 1 million streams on TikTok, which
Get out.
I know, it's just what? And it's funny because I was brand new to TikTok at the time. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
All the cool kids are doing. So I had no idea what I was doing. I just posted this little video as a joke, and then it blew up my song, and now the song has over 80,000 streams on Spotify, and it's got almost 20,000 on Apple Music, and it's like, how did this happen?
Wow.
And I put that video up, I think it was like in, I want to say June, and still I get comments and engagements on that video. Like, people are still discovering it. So I'm like, I don't know how this happened, but I'm very thankful that it happened. So that's kind of like the TikTok song now.
I can relate. And you know what, Alyssa? Only you know what I'm about to say right now, and I know now what we're talking about after the break. We'll be right back.
Have you heard?
Heard what?
Comedy Couple Tees will print anything on a shirt.
Anything?
Anything.
What if I can't think of something funny to put on a shirt?
That's okay. They have lots of funny shirts on their website to choose from, or you can create your own custom shirt. You can also get a custom mask, phone case, mouse pad, and so much more.
I bet it's expensive though, right?
No way. You can get a full color picture printed on a white shirt for only $20.
$20?
Yup, they have great prices.
Where can I find them?
ComedyCoupleTees.com. That's ComedyCoupleTees.com.
Comedy Couple Tees. We print anything on a shirt.
The reason that we really can't talk about what we really want to talk about right now, Alyssa, is because you got some new stuff coming up, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's talk about that in a second, because now this portion of our conversation will probably resonate with everyone listening, because a lot of people that listen are dealing with some of the same things, and we talked about it before the break. And we don't have our monitor cameras on right now, and your eyebrows is probably meeting because you're confused. But social media, my social media for my podcast, for the radio station, sucks. Somehow I'm able to get in the algorithms of the podcast players and how people, the Google searches, whatever. I'm doing okay there, but I'm not doing okay in social media. And what I'm noticing with some of you artists is some of your success could be contributed to social media. So do you think, based on what you said about the TikTok song, your TikTok song, where would you be if social media wasn't there?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, to be honest, I go back and forth on my opinions about social media, because I think there's a lot of positives about it, but I think there's also a lot of negatives about it.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, like, especially this whole past year, I think social media has been amazing because I've gotten to, connect with my fans in a different way. Maybe not on stage, but I've gotten to do virtual shows. I did a whole virtual tour that was like 22 weeks long. I've gotten to talk to a lot of people, and people discover me on social media, so that's great. But also, I think it's just so easy to compare yourself to someone else on social media, and I get caught up in that a lot. And it's, like I said, I go back and forth on whether I like it or I don't. In terms of where would I be without it, I truly don't know. Obviously, social media has changed the industry forever.
Yeah.
And it's changed it drastically. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I would probably be touring even more than I already do, which is already a lot. I would probably be in like writing rooms and studios more than I would trying to focus on like getting the content for social media. And like, I know I do this. I know a lot of other artists do this as well. We'll have like content days where we'll literally plan out like a month of stuff we're going to post,
right,
just to keep that going, because people need to see something like every day. So I mean,
well, you know,
media is like its own industry. Yeah,
no, that's the thing. It's like most everything I do. I mean, I've got a producer and a sound guy that's not with me right now on the show, and I've fumbled all over the place. But for the most part, I'm the chief cook and bottle washer, and social media it's time consuming, and you girls and guys in this industry are working your ass off just for a few likes and just for a few comments, and it doesn't really and for me as a content hoarder, because I need content, I'm kind of embarrassed to call some of you artists and say, hey, will you do my podcast? And I know you do your research on me like I do my research on you, and my social media is not there. But my listeners and my well, now I used to do TV, so my listeners, because I don't have viewers anymore, but my listeners are there, but they're, it's the direct opposite of what you have going on. You have great social media interaction and your content. I don't have that, but I'm surviving, and I don't know. I don't know what the big ticket item is to be able to make this. So I just have to go on the bare roots of what I'm doing and be able to supply entertainment to people and hope they continue to find us. I mean, you have an actual talent. I guess God gave me mine too, but I just feel like that if you have to do that much work on social media with that much talent, it's like, where did we go wrong as a society that this is what you as an artist have to... You see what I mean? You're talented.
Totally. I mean, I say all the time that social media really is a full-time job. And, I've had people ask me, like, hey, how did you get your social media where it is? And I tell them honestly, like,
working my ass
off.
off.
I look at it as a business.
Social media is a separate business. You said that, or I talked over you, but you said that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's almost like a 40-hour-a-week job on its own.
Oh, it really is. I mean, and that's why, like, you can hire someone to run your social media for you. I mean, that's literally a career. Yeah, it's really expensive. I mean, as it should be, because it's a lot of work. But
okay, so let me ask you, because I'm onto something, and I'm just going to be blatantly honest with you. If you want me to cut this part out, I mean, if you'll let it roll, I'll let it roll. But we'll treat it like an Ellen show, and it'll make it or it won't. But do you think though, like, because this is as an artist platform, that's why I do the radio station. That's why I do the podcast. Is because if you could take what I'm creating or what I'm developing and share it, so that more people can get you, do you not think that your talent would rise, the cream would rise to the top if you didn't have to work so hard just to make a bunch of people happy with the like button? I mean, I'm not talking about this is not a bad conversation.
It's so hard to know, but yeah, it's so hard. I think about all the time, like, what would it be like without, like, Instagram, for example? And I just don't know, because, like, it's
scary to find out.
The industry, it's changed our brains even. I mean, we could get, like, super deep into this, but it's so different. It's basically a new world with social media, and like I said, there's positives and there's negatives, and for me, it's just been kind of a learning curve and also a tool that I've had to, find out the best way to utilize when it comes to my career and it's been pretty crazy because, I've connected with people from different countries that I never would have connected with without it. So, it's a double-edged sword, I guess. I'm grateful for social media, and it's also the death of me sometimes.
Well, I guess the only reason that I even wanted to have this conversation on a platform that fans would find you, because that was more of a platform a conversation for us to have on some kind of techie podcast or something. But the only reason I really wanted you to even give your side of it is when you're on Facebook and social media and some of these artists are putting things out there, support it, because there's a lot of work that went into it. And the only reason they did it was because that's what they have to do to make it right now, or to stay in the public eye. You know, it's not like the magazines and the teen mags and the stuff we used to get when we were kids. That's gone. Social media replaced all of that. And you guys are now editing and producing your own rag mag and your own entertainment digest, your own everything. You're having to do all that on your own because that's the new medium. And that's where we are. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's been a big change for sure. I mean, I even remember when I was a kid, like magazines and TV interviews and live shows. That's really the only place you could see your favorite artists or music videos on TV. There wasn't, you couldn't see what they were doing 24/7. There was no such thing as a live stream. I remember the first live stream I watched. I was so baffled and just blown away. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is really what they're doing right now. This is so cool.
Alyssa, you have a lot of stuff going on, and I know 2020's stopped it and halted it, and it's all being redone. But you actually have some new stuff coming. When can we expect some of it? Is it spring, summer, winter, fall? What do you have going on?
So I have a new album coming out, and I'm really, really pumped about it. And you can expect that in the next couple of months here. I can't give away the release date just yet.
Yeah.
But my fans keep making fun of me because I keep saying the word soon. Like, oh, it's coming soon. And I've been saying that for like a year now.
Yeah.
So anytime I say the word soon, they're like, really, Alyssa, soon? Soon. It's gonna be out in like the first quarter of 2021, and I'm just so excited to get it out there. I haven't put out a full album in years, and it's 100% self-produced, and it's an album that a lot of the songs on it were not only written but recorded during quarantine. So a lot of it was, written remotely. And it was not the way I saw making the album, because we decided to do the album before the pandemic hit. So, we had all these ideas of all these plans of going into the studio and the bands that we were going to work with, all the musicians and in-person writing sessions, all that kind of stuff. And once the pandemic hit, I was kind of like, well, what are we going to do now? And then I kind of took that as a challenge. I've produced my own stuff for a long time. I went to school for it actually, but I've never taken on to just do a whole project myself, because I've always thought like, I don't think I'm good enough yet. I think I need more experience. I guess I was more comfortable working with some other people, so I would co-produce it.
Right.
But I had been thinking for a long time. I was like, man, it would be so cool if I could like produce my own stuff totally on my own. I have all the equipment and the gear and the experience now, and I feel like I could do it, but I was always chicken, I guess, to actually try it. And the pandemic kind of forced me to just take that leap and do it. And it was really hard. The whole process was very difficult. And in the beginning, I was like, gosh, I don't think I can do this. Like, I bit off more than I can chew. I don't think I can finish this whole album, but I just powered through, kept going, and yeah.
You'll probably do it the same way. You'll do it the same way now every time, because now it was the unknown that scared you, but you were capable of doing it. You did it. You did it. You did it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, the unknown. Thank you. Definitely just like, I feel like my biggest thing was just questioning my own ability to do it, and just getting, I don't know, too caught up in my own head, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for it to come out. It's me, like it's my sound, but it's definitely like a more mature sound. It's got some of the strongest writing I've ever done, in my opinion, on this record. And it's got one thing I really wanted to accomplish was that there's something on it for everyone. So there's ballads, there's up tempos, there's mid tempos, there's traditional country sounds, there's modern sounds, and it's just a big, like, almost like a melting pot of just everything that I am as an artist and a writer. So I'm super stoked for people to finally hear it soon. Everyone's favorite word, soon.
Soon. Nope. Well, soon. We need to do a T-shirt soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
My fans have told me, they're like, you need to write a song called Soon. And I was like, maybe I do. That'd be a funny, like, inside joke with my fan base.
Well, listen, can I just tell you, Alyssa, like, I have fumbled through this whole thing, and some of it's been technical and some of it's been my nerves and my ego in the beginning. But, like, I hope that what we have going with you as an artist on Crooked River Revival, I hope that this relationship we've started here with Taz, the podcast, that we're going to hear from you a lot. I really enjoy you. You're an incredible conversation, and I like it that, because I talk a lot, but you talk with point and purpose. And that's confidence.
Well, thank you. My English teacher would be very proud of me.
Yeah, my English teacher's like, I didn't have him. He's not mine. I didn't do it.
Oh my gosh.
You're very talented. I'm excited to learn about you more and to grow with you more over the next few months and years and as you go. But thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and career to talk about yourself a little bit and share who you are. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Like, you're just good people.
Thank you.
No, you're good
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for wanting to talk to me and for wanting to have me on. It means a lot.
No, you never know where these conversations are going to go. But, I learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about your passion and your drive. And I hope other people did too. I do. Really super do. Because you guys put so much. You and I talked off air about the Young Fables. And, I got Cooper Greer in Western North Carolina. And he's just a young guy, just talented as he can be. And you guys are just, and you are no different than any of them, except you have your own career path. But Alyssa, congratulations. I mean, you set your mind to something and you're doing it. You're absolutely doing it. You can catch Alyssa Trahan on Crooked River Revival. She has 3 songs playing now. We're about to launch another 4th coming up in January. And don't panic, Alyssa. That's the songs you've sent us already. It's not your new stuff.
Don't give me a heart attack.
Yeah, I know, right? You can find her on Instagram, Facebook. That's where I found her. And also at Alyssa Trahan and her website. Alyssa Trahan, thank you so much for being with me on Taz the Podcast. And I will always be one of your fans, and I will always collectively put you into me being one of your biggest fans. But I'm a lot of people's biggest fans. And thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
You can see us back here next week. It's going to be me and where it all began. Chris Ferris is going to join me on Taz the Podcast. And Chris Ferris is my supervisor with Herbalife. And Alyssa, I don't know if you knew this or not, but it all started over a little bitty business in Brookhaven, Mississippi. And I wanted people to live and feel better. And Bougie and Foul was the name of the podcast. And it blew up. It went well.
That's
and
awesome.
It allowed me to have artists like you and so many more. And my sponsor for next week, we're going to talk wellness and nutrition. What do you think about wellness and nutrition, Alyssa?
I think it is a huge thing. I'm actually trying to figure out some steps that I can take to improve my health with just health and nutrition in general. you know, what you put into your body and how you treat your body is such a huge thing. It's so huge. Like I can't think of another way to say it. It affects everything you do. It affects your work, your relationships, your sleep, your skin, everything.
Well, I am so glad that you have been putting solid tones, incredible vocals, and great music into your diet, because that's what you're putting out. Alyssa Trahan, you can catch her, like I said, on Crooked River Revival, and also find her on all of her social media platforms. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Taz the Podcast. I am the mouth of the marina, Taz King.